Hello everybody, my name is Ilse and this is hobbykr, the channel where I make content about anime and anime events and culture, mostly in South Korea. Today is week 2 of my weekly anime review. Today finally, the final series in the series that I'm going to be reviewing came out. 22/7. I still don't know how to say the name, even though they said it in the anime, but I couldn't quite catch it. If you are watching any of these anime, I would love to hear your opinion about them in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking of this season so far. But without any further ado, let me get started with this week. What an eventful week. I'm going to get started with the anime that I was most surprised by, and not in a good way, I would say. So initially, I decided to watch 22/7 because it looked cute. It had cute anime girls and it was an idol anime. And I thought, oh, I'm already watching so many bleak anime. Might as well add another idol anime into the mix because I love stuff like that. Well, I was not prepared for what happened. Number one, let me begin with saying that the animation was such a letdown. I was really excited about the animation because I saw some clips and some previews and I thought it would look really cute, but it was really not great. The character design was cute, but I feel like the animation is doing it such a disservice. I think out of the anime that I'm watching this season, this one has the worst animation, and I'm watching Darwin's Game. Like, I really didn't think the animation was good, which is a shame. I actually bought New Type this month, well, for February, and like, look, the art is so beautiful and like the illustration is gorgeous. I think that the art is just like so nice, but the animation was garbage. Also, the CGI looks bleak. I really didn't think that they did a good job with the CGI. I mean, albeit I haven't seen it in the anime itself, but just from the opening, their necks look so skinny. I just thought that it was not cute. Aside from that, let me begin. So I have my notes here. We have what, Miu? Miu is the main character. She's not having it. She's not having life. You know, she's in that stage of her life where she's like an edgelord and she doesn't like anything and she thinks idols are dumb. Anyway, after like a series of events, she like gets invited to be a part of an idol group where like no one has to audition, sure. And then she meets these girls and she's acting all like holier than thou. Then because her mom is sick or she wants to protect whatever, she decides to actually join. Oh, she gets fired. Because she gets fired, she decides to join the group, which is controlled by a wall that gives out, I'm assuming, orders, invitations, cards. What? I was so confused by this. So like, people who know 22/7 lore, like, what is this about? Why is there a weird wall? Like, I thought I was gonna watch like a cute idol anime, not like a spin-off of Attack on Titan. But for real, I was so confused about the wall. And I am all for the idea of like the leader of the idol group not being the usual super upright person. But I thought Mia was just like a buzzkill. Like, she just was not cute. She wasn't, you know, entertaining. It's only the first episode, so I don't know how she's gonna progress. Hopefully there will be lots of character development. But I was just really surprised because I thought I was gonna get a cute anime to kind of like balance out the depressing anime that I'm watching this season, but I think this one's gonna be depressing too. So I'm interested to see how it's gonna progress. Hopefully the animation will improve, and I'm curious to see what the wall is gonna be about, and just, it has kind of like a menacing aura atmosphere, so I'm excited to see what is going to happen in 22/7. Please tell me how to pronounce it. Next up, we have Darwin's Game, episode 2. So this week we had more insight into the actual world of the game. We learned that you can actually make families or like clans or groups, but what the hell is the name of the main character? Anyway, main character can't do it yet because he's not ranked enough. So honestly, nothing much happened this episode. I thought a lot of time was wasted while the girl, I'm really bad at remembering names. I'm really sorry if I keep referring them by the wrong name, but I was really kind of like, I felt that they wasted a lot of time while the girl was shopping and kind of like building that relationship where she's kind of into it. She's kind of like, hey, we're on a date. Look, I'm gonna keep watching it because I'm really curious about what's going to happen in the event, but not impressed so far. Like, I honestly have nothing to say because nothing happened. It was just whatever, and the animation was still garbage. So I'm just gonna keep it short and we'll see what happens next week, episode 3, woo! Now, one anime that did give me something to talk about was Pet. Oh, this week was so interesting and nice. So we finally got to see kind of like how the full ability of the Crushers works. And it was really, really beautiful. I thought, although I still think that the animation is not excellent, I think that the visuals overall have been really beautiful. So when they were in the mind of the bar owner, that was really beautiful. Like when they were going through his peak and then kind of like exploring all the facets of his life, I thought visually it was just really well executed. I really kind of felt sucked into the idea of being inside someone's head. And something that I'm really liking about the anime, and I'm sure that this is a really big thing in the manga. Again, I haven't read the manga, so I'm not entirely sure about exactly how it is there, but I really kind of like how they're exploring their relationships between men. But it just mostly feels like they're exploring kind of like the relationship of how a mentor can influence your own development, because they mention that you are given your peak by someone else. So that means that your relationship with the person that gives you your peak, which is the best memory you have in the world, is obviously something that is very important. And we kind of see that. I think Hiroki is the name of like the rowdy one. We can see that with how protective Hiroki is of Tsukasa and like how they were. I think their dynamic is really cool, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm really hoping there's gonna be some betrayal or like they're gonna end up fighting. Although I really like them as kind of like a duo, and I'm really, really interested in how those relationships are going to develop. But overall, the episode was awesome. I was really impressed, again, by the visuals, not so much the animation, but just the storytelling as a whole was really, really cool. I'm super excited for episode 3. Next is ID Invaded, episode 3. Episode 3 was really cool as well. So we have more insight into the detective. Dude, they say his name like 70 times. Why can't I remember his name? Sakaido. 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 Yeah, we get more insight into his life. So obviously his wife and daughter were murdered. We don't know by who yet, but it's obvious that he feels remorse about it because it seems like he was really neglectful during the time that the murder happened. And like, I guess they kind of gave hints that he could have prevented it. So in this episode, we see that they're living like a world of serial killers. It just seems like there are many serial killers in this universe, and it's the job of this agency to, I guess, kill them. I'm wondering if Sakaido himself is a serial killer just because he's in the same cell as the perforator and the pyromaniac or whatever his name was this week. Maybe he went crazy after his wife and daughter were killed, or maybe he killed them himself. I'm not sure. Today we got to see a different well, so I thought that every well was gonna be the same as first episode, but this one was very different. I thought that the killer was caught a little bit easily, and I guess this episode served as a way for us to get to know Sakaido more as a character, because then he has this whole super anime monologue that he does to the serial killer who ends up killing himself. Honestly, I thought that the writing for that was not excellent, and I did think that it was kind of like yeah, like anime monologue-y, which when he's like, hey, you're exactly the kind of thing you hate, and then the killer ends up killing himself. I thought it was kind of remedial and basic, but I do appreciate that it was kind of like a way for us to get to know Sakaido, and it seems like not only is he dangerous because he's in the cell, but it seems like he's also very capable of using his words to hurt people. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out in future episodes, but I also really thought that this week's episode was great, and I'm excited for next week's. And last but not least, of course, we have Bang Dream episode 2 and episode 3. So finally, we get to see if Roka wants to join Raisa Sweden, and at first, she's very apprehensive. They chase her around. I mean, I don't blame her. She doesn't have a confrontational personality, so I imagine Choo-Choo trying to like chase her and trying to so aggressively get her to join the band wouldn't have flown with her. But she finally kind of like goes to the audition, and she doesn't do as well as she expected, and Choo-Choo basically tells her that she is not allowed to join the band. And then in the most beautiful turn of events, I told you guys that I was gonna start crying literally like second episode, and indeed I did. So Popipa writes a song for Roka, and it's beautiful because they want to kind of like tell her to like chase her dreams, because they're worried that maybe she's holding back because she doesn't want to compete against Popipa, who she loves. And as they're singing, she decides to go audition again for Choo-Choo, and then finally she shows them her real power, and Choo-Choo agrees to let her into the band temporarily just so she can grow her talent and actually see if she's gonna do well in the band. I thought this was so cute. I loved the Popipa detail. One thing that really bothered me was that she just walked out in the middle of the song, and I know this was for dramatic effect, but I really didn't appreciate that. Popipa went through the trouble of writing her a song, and she just leaves in the middle of the song. I don't really ship anyone in Bang Dream. Like, shipping isn't really my thing, but Masaki and Roka as a couple, I'm living. I really liked their dynamic. I just thought that Masaki is obviously kind of like invested. I think she's one of those characters where it's not that she's like tsundere, like she doesn't like showing affection. I think it's just that she's not a very affectionate person, but for the people that she does have feelings for, like friendship-wise, she kind of goes above and beyond for. I thought it was so dramatic, it was so extra that she would pick Roka up as she's running, but honestly, it was everything I needed. One other thing that I wanted to point out was Roselia deciding that they are indeed going to join the competition. I'm glad they're beating Reisa Sweden just because I want Roselia to win. I really hope that the final concert is Roselia versus Popipa, but I'm assuming Reisa Sweden is gonna be, it's gonna be Reisa Sweden against Popipa to show that kind of competition between Roka and Popipa and see how it plays out. But I really don't like the fact that like Yukina controls everything in Roselia. Like, she decides that they're not gonna join, and then suddenly she decides that they are gonna join. I mean, I know that's kind of like their dynamic, and I know that's Yukina's role, but I think that's why, contrary to the majority of the fandom, I think that's why Yukina is my least favorite character in the series. And not that I don't like her, but I don't like her demeanor, and I don't like that she controls the group in that way. Even though she has grown a lot, I think, you know, those little things remain, and I don't exactly like her. Although Choo-Choo is like close second to the character I like least. And the final thing I wanted to point out is that, so we're 3 episodes in, and so far we've only had Step by Step and Firebird added into the episodes, and the rest is just Riot. And I like Riot, but I really wanted to start playing a different song because Riot was also the insert song for Reisa Sweden in season 2. So we need new songs, but I'm sure that's coming next episode. So this was it for my review today. Look out for a new video on Sunday. I went to the Love Live 9th anniversary cafe. That's gonna be very exciting. And like I mentioned before, if you are watching these anime or any other this season, please leave me a comment and let me know what your thoughts are being about all of these new shows. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.